Hello, everybody. I did not do this intro another time.
He had to check and make sure everything was set up right.
I know, it's still funny. This might be a different setup than usual. That is because we're in a bedroom.
Yeah, we're in our room. And today we're talking about toxic exes.
While painting pumpkins.
While painting our jack-o'-lanterns. So...
there'll be a cat that'll come in here for serotonin.
Yeah, Leslie's here. Anybody from my channel before? Leslie is the kitty cat.
I'm a cat. I'm a kitty cat.
And a dance and a dance.
If anyone's curious what paints we're using, you're using matte painting.
Yeah, it's matte paint. I ordered them off Amazon. I never thought when I bought them, but it's fine. I have a witch on one side, like a witch jack-o'-lantern that I carved.
Mine was inspired by Stitch, but it just looks like shit. It
doesn't look like shit. It looks like the thing from Stitch. Lilo and Stitch when they're celebrating Halloween.
Yeah. The eyes could have been a little bit bigger on this side, but I'll work with.
And then I've got... I'm painting a Day of the Dead skeleton on the back of mine. What are you going to paint on the back of yours?
No idea.
Alright. Well, let's get some paint out and then we will start complaining about exes.
Okay.
Pick your poison, my love.
I always thought yellow tasted good.
Rylan. You can't eat the paint.
I am going to try to make a black, though, so...
I have a black.
Oh, you have a black. Never mind. That answered my question.
That answered your question. So, you want to start or me?
How about you start? Because this has been boiling for you for a little bit.
It hasn't necessarily been boiling for me because I've already ranted about my ex a time or two on my own stuff. But the prick decided that he was going to message me yesterday morning.
Yeah.
I didn't read the message. Rylan did. And then made a comment on... because he messaged me on TikTok. And was like, I hope, everything's okay with you for a split second, and then started going into his own bullshit.
We won't go into super detail what the message was or was saying, but it's essentially him talking about himself.
Yeah.
For the most part.
I'm not that shocked. That's just how he is as a person. Everything is about him, nothing is about the people that he's screwed over. But it's been over 2 years that he decided to reach out and go, I just want to make sure that you have closure. As if 14 hours, 800 and some miles isn't closure enough. On top of living with somebody else. You're just doing it because you see me happy and you're mad that I'm not with you. There was no other reason for him to do that other than just him being an ass. For lack of a more educated term. He was just being a prick. I don't know what I want to do.
I'm kind of just picking and choosing some colors that I like. I'm just going to go from there.
Yeah. But, this morning I texted my mom and told her everything. And she sent him a message. And was like, you need to leave Sarah alone. She's, literally not even in the same state anymore. And I guess my dad ran into his father and was like, your son ever tries to get in contact with my little girl again, and I'm gonna put a bullet between your son's eyes or something like that. My dad is not a violent person except when it comes to his kids. And
that proper strong man redneck. It's a rude to call your dad a redneck?
No.
Okay.
My dad is very protective of me, especially after everything with my ex, because I called him at 11 o'clock in the morning, and I remember it distinctly because it hurt that bad. And I'm like, hey, I need you to come and get me. We broke up again. And I had literally just moved everything in. Again. And, it pissed me the fuck off. Sorry, I thought that was my phone.
Yeah, that kind of stuff really does suck. The fact that some people think they're obligated to come back and think they know what they're doing.
That was our relationship for like 90% of it. Was like, will they, won't they, on again, off again. They love each other, they hate each other. Like, I've already went into it on multiple occasions, and I'm at the point where I'm tired of going into it.
He was a flag red.
He was a flag red.
You can't see it. I don't feel like getting up to get close to the camera.
Nah, it's fine. We're very minimalist on this channel.
Listen, it's one of those days. We have a video that totally wasn't filmed a week ago.
It went up. It's gonna go up late. It will probably go up when this one goes up. I'm sorry. Our internet is ass.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, your turn. Because my ex decided that he was gonna rear his ugly ass head.
Oh, yeah. Whew, where do I... How about I talk about, Now, my time with relationships and stuff like that hasn't been, like, the grandest, because I wasn't much of a dater and stuff. I have my fair share of, like, exes and stuff like that, but, like, I also, like... I just didn't date a lot when I was younger. Because, you know, it wasn't easy for me personally. I never understood how it was easy for some people, but you know, to which his own.
Yeah.
But I had one once upon a time. It was God, when was it? It's during high school, so already kind of like a good time.
Oh yeah,
it's
the best time, isn't it?
When you're like the most confused and stuff. And, like, at first it was, like, you know, I thought she was cool, we were chill, stuff like that. We interacted a lot, like, art class, you know how it is.
Yeah.
So if you meet each other in a classroom, you kind of hit it off a little bit.
You gravitate towards the people in your class.
Yeah. We were, like, talking, you know, we had a lot of similar interests.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and I liked how she was, like, different. She had crazy colored hair and, like... You know, was, like, into, like, some things. Little did I know, there was baggage. And nothing wrong with baggage.
I was about to say, what the hell did you think you were getting with me?
Well, I mean, like, with you, like, I understood, like, your situation, and you told me. That's the difference. You told me.
Yeah, when we entered this relationship, I was very upfront about everything. Yeah. Like, you were in my comment section on my TikToks and everything, because that's how we met, through TikTok. From the jump. Mm-hmm. Like, you saw, from an outsider's perspective, the bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of understood everything. And we didn't immediately started dating each other till, like, much later.
Yeah, it was, like, 2 or 3 months later.
Yeah, exactly. So, like... The relationship had kind of, like, flourished just yet. But with this ex and I, the baggage came out in the middle of the relationship after a little bit of time, here and there once in a while. Because she had, like... I will not deny, she had a very shitty, toxic relationship herself. Mm-hmm. It was very bad, and I felt very envious for her and stuff.
Is envious the right word?
For the time, yes, because he was a genuine piece of shit and was, like, stalking her house and, like...
I thought envious meant jealous.
Is that what it means? I don't know. I felt, like... I felt bad, you know, like... You know, like, clearly it affected her a lot. Get your little kitty schnoot out of here. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Jealous or resentful?
Okay. So I used the wrong word. But to which his own, I felt bad for her. You know, like, so I thought, like, hey, like, you know, we're becoming friends and, like, ish. But we did kind of, like, I will admit, looking back on it now, that relationship was definitely, like, rushed into. Like, without a doubt. And hey, you know, sometimes that happens.
Yeah, that's sometimes the way, like, a lot of high school relationships are, because like, you just don't think, you just don't know. Well, you're a kid.
Yeah, exactly. And so, you know, it kind of went from there. And then that's when, like, the stuff came out. And the issue that I had, why, I don't want to say it was too toxic, but I was like, there were some elements that were not good.
Yeah.
And stuff that hopefully...
Leslie, get your head out of the paint water, please. Thank you.
That hopefully I hope she has learned from now and stuff. Because I usually don't feel ill will, but God, this time was...
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. It's, Ooh, look at that. It looks like it's crying.
Ooh. That's cool. I like that.
It was unintentional, but I'll take it. I'm trying to make it as dark as I can, but I feel like it's going to have to dry and I'll have to repaint it and stuff.
Yeah, it'll take a layer or two.
Yeah, it's fine. But, yeah, it just got really bad. We got into arguments. There were some things that have happened that I was not too huge a fan of. Like, I told her that I wasn't a huge fan of Valentine's Day, personally, because I don't like... So for y'all who don't know, people who... If you think that's bad for me to not like Valentine's Day, like, how can you not like Valentine's Day?
Is it because of St. Valentine?
No. No, it wasn't because of that. It is because Valentine's Day is literally capitalizing on relationships.
That is true.
That is the whole thing. It's literally like, if you don't have someone to be your Valentine's Day, or like spend this much money on Valentine's Day, or this or that, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter who you are. And I never liked Valentine's Day because of that, because it is just a capitalist marketing thing to get money from people who are in relationships or other stuff. Like, it's not cool. Like,
and it makes you feel bad for being single.
Yeah, it makes you look like an asshole for being single.
Yeah,
and
it
stuff.
makes you look like just like a lonely prick.
Exactly. So, like, that's why I never liked it, because 90% of my Valentine's Days, I was always lonely and stuff. Didn't really have much Valentine's Day. It was mostly me and my friends, just like us swiping candy for each other and stuff like that, and being young, like 6th grade boys, like making fun of the girls for like Valentine's Day things. But again, we're 6th graders. What the biggest harm we're gonna do is nothing. Essentially, swipe your candy. That's it. And that's
back in the day.
Back in the day. I don't know what kids nowadays do, but.
Evidently pull a machete out on a girl for saying no.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that. That's a whole...
I know, that's a whole other can of worms. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But, yeah, so back to what my whole relationship. It just got really bad with that thing because she made me feel like absolute shit and got emotional and all this stuff about it. So then I bought her stuff, and then she was like, oh, I don't care, it's fine. And it did like a whole 180 on me, and I was genuinely pissed at that because I went out of my way to buy this stuff with my money and stuff for you, and then you're like, oh, no, never mind, I was just messing around, laughing and gaffing, but she took it anyway.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the actual fuck? Like, it was super hurtful. I was not a fan of that. Then we've had like on and offs a little bit here and there, like just weird stuff, and then finally got to a boiling point where we got into a massive fight and stuff. Like, it was so bad and annoying. I had no idea what I even did, and I was like, this can't keep going anymore. So I broke up with her. It was the first time I ever broke up with anyone, too, by the way. I never did that. It was usually people breaking up with me.
Oh, honey.
But yeah, no, that sucked. And for a while, she was kind of stalkerish, not gonna lie. Almost had to file a restraining order because of that, too. Like, it was getting a little bad. Thankfully, that didn't come to it. She was getting some help, which was nice, and we kept it level-headed. But there was still that little bit of energy where it's like...
Yeah, you were uncomfortable, and like you're like, I don't want to go through that shit again.
Yeah, it was just bad, and it didn't help that we were still in the same classes, and like, kind of haunted me all the way up to like my senior year. Not haunted, I shouldn't say that, but like...
It stuck with you.
It stuck with me for a little bit, so I was kind of like in the middle. mellow thing, and there was a moment where she was posting stuff about herself, and it was kind of like it was going to almost seem like it was going to target me and make me look really bad. But thankfully, I have a lot of friends who fought against that and helped me out, so nothing bad did come of that. But that shit was not cool.
See, my ex, like I told you, was toxic in the way that, like, I need to scoot this, like, right in the middle if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
My ex was toxic in the way that, like, the second I would think, like, you know what, I'm not happy anymore, this relationship isn't going in the direction I wished it would or anything like that, or, like, just being genuinely not happy. I cried like 90% of my past relationship with him, to the point where it was like, oh my god, is this going to be my future? Mm-hmm. Am I just going to be bawling my eyes out in the middle of the night? Him not giving an absolute shit. Like, he was the kind that wouldn't put boundaries up with his friends. He had a lot of female friends, which you do as well, and that was one of the things where I was like, okay, I don't know if I can do this, but like, I don't have the same anxieties that I do with you that I did with him, and I was not a good partner. I was not like the most attentive or the most calm or patient or anything like that. I was an ass. I'll be honest, but it still wasn't. That wasn't an excuse for the way that I was treated. It wasn't an excuse for the way he was treated either. But, like, in his message yesterday, he was like, I was just so afraid of commitment and all kinds of shit. And I'm like, yeah, I picked that up after you dumped me twice in 1 year.
Yeah, so.
And I caught you sending messages to a coworker who was barely 18 at the time. And was, like, saying, like, oh, I'm not happy with her, and they were like, oh, just break up with her, I could treat you so much better, and now she has a kid with him. Mm-hmm. That was the other thing that I was like, oh my god, you have a child, why are you messaging me after 2 years and going, I'm so sorry, woe is me, wah wah wah. And, like, anybody who knows, like, my situation, talking about this before, Leslie, my cat here, I've had him since he was a kitten, and I brought him when I moved with my ex, and, Rylan had 2 ceiling fans in his bedroom. We had to take the ceiling fans down because my ex flipped Leslie upside down as a kid and put him on the ceiling beside a rickety-ass ceiling fan, and now he's terrified of ceiling fans.
Yeah.
On top of, like, he was really inconsiderate about, like, when coworkers and him got sick with COVID, they were like, oh, it's a hoax, all kinds of shit. And I was around my grandparents and my nephew at the time, and, like, I didn't know everyone was sick, and he's like, oh, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want you to freak out. Rightfully so, because it was around the freaking holidays, and my nephew was 2 at the time. Mm-hmm. Like, his immune system isn't even developed to the point where he can fight off a common cold. I was upset. Oh, I was so mad.
So. That's just shit that you just don't do.
No. Because I guarantee, had I done that, if the roles were reversed, like, yeah.
Right?
He would have been furious with me. And honestly, there were some moments where he was like, well, you need to be more interactive with my family. I don't want to be. But yeah, and I told you about all that too. Like, I was not a good partner with him, but it was because we fed off of each other's toxicity.
And that sometimes can just happen.
Yeah.
Know?
Like, we just were not good for each other. And it, like, I took that as the sign to be like, okay, you know what, let's not. I'm done after this. Because he was like, I just need time, I just need to find myself. And then a couple months later, not even a couple months, like, I connected the dots a couple weeks later and was like, no, you emotionally cheated on me with a coworker that you had been secretly screwing around with.
Yeah.
Because emotional cheating is still cheating. Like, if you go to one of your...
thing.
If you go to one of your female friends and talk about their relationship and they're automatically like, oh, well, maybe you need to just sort out better options. Instead of, like, coming to me and being like, hey, something. And you're not that kind of person, so I'm not worried about that.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, being really touchy-feely with your female friends, not joking around like you do with your guy friends or anything like that. Or the girls, not that they are, because I haven't met them yet. And I highly doubt they are. You're not the kind of person to keep those kinds of friends.
Yeah.
If they're, like, really... Because the friends that he was around was really touchy-feely. Like, if we carved these pumpkins with a couple of his friends... Well, one of your best friends and his girlfriend the other night. And some of... Even his friends' girlfriends would be touchy-feely with him.
Yeah.
And it... Like, that... You don't do that.
You just don't do that.
That's like... If Chelsea and her boyfriend was around and her boyfriend was, like, too touchy and friendly with me, that would make you upset.
Yes, it would.
And, like, if I was that way with her boyfriend, that would make her upset.
Mm-hmm.
And it would make you upset. I wouldn't do that.
Exactly. Make Leslie upset.
It would make Leslie upset. He'd be like, Mom, what the fuck are you doing?
And she'd be more like, Mom, meow, meow, meow.
Mom. Meow. I'm gonna work on my sugar skull.
I kind of got a little design going on right now.
Looks like a Joker.
A little bit. It just looks like a sickly pumpkin. Like the gray around the nose. I put the little green inside of it to make it look like it's snotty. The black teary eyes. I like how it's kind of also mixing with like the red lipstick.
Yeah.
I put around it. It looks pretty sick. I might color the eyes inside too. I think I'm going to do the purple for the eyes. Actually, how would a purple and yellow look?
If you're comfortable talking about it, how did you feel when I showed you that message yesterday?
Oh, I just saw it and I was like, this is the classic it's not you, it's me kind of bullshit that I've seen.
Yeah, that's
before.
Just him.
Yeah, I've seen that shit before and it drives me insane.
And there are a lot of people who are like, oh, well, you just need to get over it. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Why are you still holding on to it? And he did say at the very end of it, he's like, I know you're probably going to make a TikTok about this. You're damn right I'm going to make a TikTok about it. That's how I not reached my peak or anything like that on TikTok. But, like, that's how I felt better. And there was a lot of stuff that I didn't post. But I forced myself to show when I was uncomfortable. When I was vulnerable to the point of, like, having a breakdown. And it wasn't that I was wanting it for views or anything like that. I wanted that as somebody who kept going back and forth between one toxic to another with the same fucking person. For that to be any other person that was going through its wake-up call. To be like, okay, I see the way that it affected this girl. I don't want to be in that situation again, so... You know what? I'm out. We're not doing this again.
Yeah.
And I remember I sent him a big long message after he was like, it's not you, it's me. I need to work on me. Meanwhile, I've got another girl sleeping in your bed. That's why I didn't want you to go upstairs and say bye to our dog that you helped raise. That I should have fucking taken with me. But, I remember I sent him that big, long message of, like, leave me the fuck alone, don't reach out to me, don't do anything, we're through, I never want to see you again, I never want to talk to you again, I hope you're proud with the decision that you've made. And I blocked him, and I deleted my Facebook that night, because that was our main way of talking, was Facebook. And I thought, I was so scared, I told you about this, I didn't have a period, I thought I was pregnant, I was terrified. I'm like, I really don't want to be. And it got to the point where it stopped hurting, like, oh man, I really wish that, he would in some way reach out or anything like that. It was me sitting back and going, oh my god, this was so problematic. Like, drinking with his friends and then not cleaning up after himself, or like saying that he didn't find me attractive after we, did everything, because of post-nut clarity.
Yeah.
Which is the most stupid thing. Girls and boys, if anybody ever tells you that, leave. Don't waste your time. Leave.
Just leave, honey. Leave.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Because that shit right there is already a bad sign. I can tell you that.
I tell you what.
I tell you what. God, I'm turning southern and you're not even from the south.
No.
No, where you Ohio thinks they are from the south, so what am I saying?
My section of Ohio is southern Ohio, so...
They're close enough.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's one too many Trumpies. And a lot of guns and drugs.
This is America. Do I have any other toxic relationship stories? I really don't. Well, no, I lied. There's one. There's another one. It's a lot more complicated, a lot more different than a dating one. It's more or less of a saga, if I do say. So I'll just start it now for a little bit. If I ever have to make a part 2 of this, I will. Essentially, back in 8th grade. Now, keep in mind, this is 8th grade, so how much does a relationship matter during that time? Zilch. Because
thank you for saying that.
An 8th grade relationship is like, if it does genuinely stick, you found someone. Like, right then and there. Like, if you start a relationship in 8th grade, and you're still with that person to this day, you found your soulmate. Like, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations. I went to school with a girl like that.
It's like the high school sweetheart, or the college sweetie. Like, all those stuff.
Chelsea knows.
Like, good job. Like, you did something good. You both found something right. Awesome. Great. And you're getting to grow and understand each other throughout the time. Wonderful. However, for most of us, it is not that. It is just like, you date for a little bit. You break up at some point. It happens. It's not a big deal. You end up being friends. Instead, you're both in relationships. And it didn't even matter because it was 8th grade.
Yeah.
8th grade means nothing.
It really doesn't.
You're still just a child.
High school doesn't even really mean much.
Ever since my school system moved the 8th graders into a high school, like Barnstable High School, and stuff, like, there you go. It was done. Like, you had a bunch of, like, young children, essentially, thrown in with the big dogs.
With the big dogs.
With the big jackasses.
Oh, yeah.
I ended up becoming one of them at some point, too. Because let me tell you, 8th graders are annoying.
Yeah. I had 8th graders in my theater class.
But I digress. So, this was an 8th grade fling her and I had. It was back and forth, like, on and off and stuff. Learned later on that the last time we broke up was because of her father. I didn't know why. Then someone told me, apparently he's extremely racist towards white people. And then went to jail later on for something he did that I did not know. So, interesting. And if you're wondering how could someone be racist towards white people, he was the bad kind. So, his kind. So that was fun.
Excuse you, sir. Leslie just stepped on my butt.
Rude. But yeah, so the back and forth kind of happened, and then we just remained friends for a while. Like, conversation here, there, conversation here, off, kind of a thing. At some point, a buddy of mine gets into high school. He was working more, so he kind of came to high school late, and has kind of now been, like, working more a full-time job, which, hey, good for him. He's making that bucks. Hopefully, we can hang out again at some point, because we're still in touch. But eventually, him and her start dating, and I'm like, not sure about that, man. Like, because, like, she's not bad, but, like, I don't know if she's, like, for you, like, not trying to be mean, like, whole other thing. But they end up doing it because I can't control him. He's his own person, and they wind up breaking up later on. Heedy ho, doesn't matter. Graduation starts coming around. All things are good and dandy and stuff. I'm starting to get free of high school. Still buddies with all my friends. Then, my other good friend, my previous friend, my guy friend, started dating, which I was actually against because of how much they are opposites of each other. Very, very opposite of each other. I was like, this is not going to go well. You two are both my best friends, and I know you since we were children. You two will not mesh well. I had that feeling. I was like, I was not sure, but I should have. In my defense, I should have voiced my opinion more with it, and should have been more forceful. And again, I know I can't control them, but in this case, I wish I did.
That's how Chelsea felt with me.
Yeah. They start dating. It's a okay relationship, but then it starts getting a little hectic. Not hectic, but hard for them because they're both very different. Then that previous ex of mine that dated my friend that broke up got a boyfriend of her own. My friend did not like her or him. Did not have good feelings about him. Tried to mooch his way into the friend group constantly. Then the worst thing ever is she sends pictures of supposedly my friend talking to her and cheating, quote unquote, while they were together and stuff, the other friend. And she got mad. She was going to do something that I said I was against her doing this. She did it anyway by saying we should have dinner and never showed up, and that was her breaking up with him. Come to find out later, those photos and text messages she was showing him were ones when they were dating. Way back when. And she did that to essentially get them away from each other because she was jealous. So I don't talk to her anymore. And neither does my other friend. I care very little for her now because of that, because she drove my friends apart. And I just don't like her now. So that is someone who I was like, there's that one relationship I had, I was like, I hope they are better. I may not want to be in their lives anymore, but I just hope they got proper help and have something more stable in their lives. Her, I could give a shit. I could literally give two shits about. It's just so bad. I just could not believe. I was just so angry at the time.
You are definitely a bigger person than I am. Because, because that girl that my ex had cheated on me with, ooh, nice.
Yeah, not bad. It's starting to dry too, so I'll probably repaint.
Good.
At some point. I think I'm gonna stop it right here, just so I can get the finishing details on it later, and probably fill in the orange and stuff like that. I'll show the camera. Ugh.
Easy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Terrifying.
Yours is all creepy and weird. Mine's
cute.
Festive.
But that's fitting for us.
It really is. But before I moved up here, remember I got a text from the girl.
Yeah.
And she was like, "You need to stay away from my man." And I sent you the screenshots of me texting back, bitch, I don't want your man.
Bitch, keep your mans. Fuck you.
Bitch, I said what I said. We're gonna get copyrighted.
Yeah, we are.
But, it's aggravating.
It's very aggravating.
It's aggravating, especially yesterday, because we had such a nice day. A nice double date, carving these pumpkins and hanging out with your friends.
Yeah.
And, we were supposed to hang out with,
another friends of mine, but plans change, obviously.
Yeah. But, I did not expect to wake up to that message yesterday. And the second I saw it, my stomach dropped and I got really shaky and pale. And I was like, I swear to God, I hate this.
Yeah.
My body was physically rejecting it.
Yeah.
Look at me. Oh, I think it's an eyelash. Sorry. Oh yeah, it's just your lashes. Like my body was physically rejecting everything.
Yeah, just
like the second, and I hadn't he'll cross my mind every once in a while, and it's not in like a, I miss him kind of bullshit way. Mm-hmm. It's always like, what the fuck did I allow myself to go through?
Yeah.
To the point where it's like I'm still working through issues that he caused. Like I'm still working with trust issues and everything like that, but working through my emotions and working through like relationship issues. Mm-hmm. Like my fucking trust was broken, and it's not your job to have to fix it.
Yeah.
It should never have been broken to begin with. But I've reached that point where when somebody breaks my trust, you don't get it back.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's hard to get back that kind of stuff that happens to you.
Yeah. And you're not... I'm at that point and I'm at that age where if you're going to be a prick, if you're not going to... And it's not even like put your needs above mine or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It's if you're going to be an inconsiderate prick.
Oh, yeah.
Because in this relationship, we're partners. Mm-hmm. We do everything as a team.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't have that, but I also wasn't a team player, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
But, like, I still want to know what the hell he thought he was going to accomplish.
We'll never know.
And
we'll
I don't care to know.
And who needs to know? Right, Leslie?
He's like, yeah, that prick. Leslie especially.
Do you have any toxic relationships, Leslie? Why is my thing on the floor? He must have knocked it down.
What thing?
My box.
Oh shit, he must have knocked it down. Hold on.
That's fine. He was at arm's reach for that. It's not a big deal.
Well, our pumpkins aren't done, but we're done with the topic.
I think that's a good spot to end it right there.
Yeah. If you want to see these, like, finished, we'll take pictures and I'll edit them in at the end, or I'll put it like in the community. Mm-hmm. Please ignore the dogs.
Yeah, we'll put in the little. We'll put them in the small shorts, the YouTube shorts. That's what we'll do. Yeah,
we'll start making like some cute little YouTube shorts.
Yeah, some of the work in progress or finished projects and stuff like that.
Stay tuned because we're gonna be dressing up for Halloween. We're gonna be Beast Boy and Raven on date night.
That is right. We'll post some shorts about that, and then we'll talk, and we'll probably make a video on the process of like doing that and stuff.
Oh yeah, if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah, the process of making the costumes, putting together, and like.
I mean, the costumes really aren't that difficult. We kind of just bought normal clothes.
Yeah,
we gotta dye our hair. I
was talking about like more of like why we picked them and like stuff like that. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this topic and our pumpkin painting things. Just something a little bit different, but hey, trying to change things up here once in a while.
Yeah, we're still trying to find our footing when it comes to filming and everything, and we are going to have some technical issues, especially right in the beginning. Yeah. So we apologize in advance, but it's inevitable. Like, it's bound to happen. Yep. And I think that's it.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, elbow drop that like, smack that bell in the ass, comment, share, follow, all that jazz.
Because when you do that, it boosts us into the algorithm and we can actually get more people to watch our videos.
And inflates my ego.
It inflates your ego. Does it need inflated anymore?
No, but... See you around, guys.
Bye!